moving away from divisional weekend, we had a
Moving on.
It was probably one of the best football weekends of the year.
Not for the Texans.
Really, well, regardless of who
Not for the
is
Seahawks.
for,
Yeah.
or for the Dallas Cowboys, for that matter.
Packers. Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
I'm used to this.
Divisional weekend is over, and let's talk about the Saturday games. Or no, excuse me, we'll always go backwards. So Sunday games. The late game on Sunday was 41-28 final. Patriots beat the Texans.
Yeah, we kind of knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really the only quote-unquote blowout of the weekend, minus I don't really consider yours a blowout, really. But we'll hit on that a little bit later.
No, right?
Are we still gauging blowouts by points?
Well, considering, let's just think about this, too. A lot of people thought that the Packers and San Francisco game was going to be even. And so, I mean, it was, yeah. But let's get back to the Patriots. Let's get back to the Patriots-Texans game. Matt Schaub, in his second playoff game, didn't perform badly, but it wasn't a solid game for him.
Wasn't enough.
Foster didn't perform. 90 yards.
Foster had 90 yards. I mean, 90 yards is still good. I mean,
I guess.
Adrian Peterson had 98, 99 yards in his wild card round.
But if you don't win the game,
He didn't have a quarterback. That was a one-dimensional team.
absolutely.
What's the difference in Schaub?
Schaub
That
is
was good.
better than Joe Webb.
Well, yeah. Okay, better than Joe Webb. I'm not sure better than Christian Ponder in the long run. In the long run, Schaub is not impressed me.
Right now,
Schaub has not impressed me.
he's better than Christian Ponder.
You give Christian Ponder Andre Johnson, and I guarantee you're going to see a better Christian Johnson.
Adrian Peterson.
He has Percy Harvin.
Yes.
Okay. Andre Johnson's about 2 feet taller than Percy, too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Patriots just completely dominated this
I
game.
turned this one off at halftime.
I didn't even watch it. I was at work.
Tom Brady continues to do his playoff battles and just doesn't lose the game for the Patriots, but he continues to just take shots down the field. They actually had a running back, which was second-string running back, come in and rush for 2 touchdowns. I mean,
they have a terrific rushing attack this year.
For once. I mean, and this is the bad thing, is they're no-names, too. I mean, Danny Woodhead, I mean, I guarantee you
Not
if
really
you
a
say,
household name.
yeah, I guarantee you that you don't hear that name a lot, and it's just impressive to actually see those kind of people. I mean, Danny Woodhead was injured for the weekend, and the guy that ran for 2 touchdowns. Let me pull it up real quick. Let's see, Shane Vereen.
Yeah.
Did
he not play for...
Is that Shane Victorino's brother?
Vereen,
Oh.
not Victorino.
Oh. One thing that is not really being talked about the New England Patriots, we talked about it earlier, is there New England Patriots defense. I honestly
Best
think
they've had in a while.
I think it's the best they've had in any championship game under Bill Belichick.
With and you do know with the win by Brady, he takes number 1 spot, passes Joe Montana.
Joe Montana, yep.
I think
17 victories in the playoffs. 17 victories in the playoffs. Montana had 16.
Okay.
And
So
the point you brought up was, well, the Patriots have never had a really good defense, but I think this is their best defense they've ever had in any championship caliber team, and I think this is one of their best offenses. I don't have
a wide receiver this year, though, does he?
I agree with you. He doesn't. I don't.
Wes Welker caught 131 yards receiving.
That's all he had left after Gronkowski, whatever his name is, went down.
And he's got Aaron Hernandez, who's a pretty big
He's
threat
decent.
too.
He is decent. I agree.
And he's a Big
I agree.
Ten boy, so he's pretty good.
Aaron Hernandez? Are you sure? Pretty sure Aaron Hernandez was a Florida grad.
Really?
Yep. Look that one up later.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure. Anyway,
Who am I thinking of?
I don't know.
Obviously, he didn't know that.
Anyway, moving on to the other game that was probably one of the most watched all weekend. A lot of people watched this game, and this was just nationwide. A lot of people that really didn't care about the game still watched it and freaked out about it.
I was one of those people.
I mean, this game went from being a complete blowout in the first half to holy crap, what is going on?
Yeah.
Me being a Falcons fan, I don't think my blood pressure could get that high again.
You almost doogied yourself.
Yeah, you could say that.
Now, was your blood pressure higher Sunday or in 2002?
happened in 2002.
No, my blood pressure didn't raise in 2002. I was happy, so my blood pressure was about level there.
Yeah, that was a very competitive game between two teams that I didn't care really about, but it was a really good game, and I felt myself invested in the game and wanting to watch it and wanting to see the end.
Bryce sent me a text about a little bit after midway through the third quarter and said, "Game over."
I was right. Ended up
game over.
I was right.
And about the fourth quarter, midway through the fourth quarter, I'm like, "You were saying?"
I was talking about the Ohio State Michigan basketball game.
Okay,
Yeah,
I must have missed that.
Wrong game.
The Falcons won.
Let's just recap real quick. Falcons went in and 20-0 in halftime. Huge mistakes in the first first half by Pete Carroll.
Yep. Lost him the game.
Going for it on 4th and 1, that could have affected the game tremendously, and terrible time management by Russell Wilson there at the end of the first half.
Pete Carroll should have had an extra timeout there at the half. He called a timeout on a play that honestly didn't need a timeout to be called. The play could have ran down. Had Pete Carroll still had that timeout, they would have been able to kick a field goal right before the half instead of trying to. Yeah, it could have won the game. Instead of trying to rush Russell Wilson, a rookie quarterback, on the road in the red zone. It's just not smart. That was just bad coaching by Pete Carroll.
It came down to 27-28 with 31 seconds left. They gave the ball back to the Falcons. Matty Ice.
More than enough time.
Matty Ice drove down the field, hit a couple big shots down the field. One to
Julio and
one. No, it was one to Harry Douglas,
that's right.
and one to Tony.
How do you leave Tony open in the middle of the field at that point?
I don't really consider him open. I mean,
he was dead. He was wide open. Right, that was a straight to him.
He was more open than Tony Gonzalez should have been.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That is only the greatest tight end.
I think the Seahawks played it correctly as to where they were trying to force the ball into the middle of the field because the Falcons didn't have a timeout.
They did it. They stopped it.
They did.
Yeah. Oh, they had
one timeout.
They had them to burn that one timeout. Had they thrown it to the outside and not had to burn that timeout, they probably would have gone for another pass and tried to get closer. I think the Seahawks played it correctly. I don't necessarily know that you want Tony Gonzalez catching that ball if you're a Seahawks fan, but you do want that ball to be in the middle of the field to force the Falcons to use their last timeout, rather than throwing it to Julio Jones or Roddy White on the outside, running out of bounds, then having another play, and if it's a sack or anything goes crazy, you have another timeout.
Those two plays should have never happened.
I think the defense on both sides of the ball fell apart at the end. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Matt Bryan hits a 49-yard field goal with 8 seconds left to go in the game.
13, yeah.
That's right. And then
kickoff. And what was the deal with that kick?
Don't get me started with Matt Bosher.
From what I heard, it was just a missed kick. I heard Matt Bryant earlier this morning on the radio, and he said he talked to Bosher after the game, and he said that Bosher just pretty much mishit it. And I mean, that could have cost him the game. That was an atrocious mistake that an NFL player should not make.
30-28 final score. Falcons move on to the NFC Championship to face your San Francisco 49ers, who
close game with the Packers.
Demolished the Packers. It
wasn't a blowout though.
14 points. It was supposed to be a really close game according to the line.
The first half was.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers tried to keep the Packers in it, but in the end, it was Colin Kaepernick's show at this game. 181 rushing yards.
Broke the rushing record for a quarterback in a playoff game.
In a game period.
Yeah. It was Michael Vick with 173.
Yeah.
Was it the record, I believe? Michael Vick had it at 173, and Kaepernick said it. I figured out what it is. It's his huge nose. It creates like a vector. Like when he's running, he can change direction so quickly with that nose. He just turns it into it turns his whole body. I don't know how he uses it, but I think it's something like that. It's pretty crazy.
Needless to say, this game was over about the fourth quarter. No later. I mean, when you started the fourth quarter, you're like, okay, ball game. Mm-hmm. There's no catch up in Aaron Rodgers' playbook at this point.
And the one thing I saw, I haven't watched a lot of Colin Kaepernick this year. I watched a bunch of 49ers games earlier in the season with Alex Smith, and I've seen maybe one or two games with Colin Kaepernick at the helm. One thing that I really like about Colin Kaepernick is the ball takes about 3 seconds to get from him to a receiver 60 yards down the field.
He's got a good arm.
I mean, that's a 97-mile-an-hour fastball he's throwing right into the breadbasket of the receivers. Having said that, I saw him throw some lame ducks up. I saw him just
Well, he's
no
still a
finesse.
He's still a second-year player, so
not
he's still
play at
learning.
all the first
He's
year.
still
I
learning.
agree.
And granted, you come in as a rookie and you're in John Harbaugh's system, and you're gonna learn. You're gonna go through growing pains, especially coming out of Nevada. But at the same time, I mean, you're looking at it and you go, okay, this kid's got an arm. He's got a set of legs, and he's 6'5". So it's not like it was Mike Vick at 6'0" or Troy Smith at 5'11" that has good arm and legs and is short.
This guy can see
This guy could see over and see the lanes as opposed to them having to trying to look over.
He has to have a little touch. I love his fastball. I love that arm strength. Terrific arm
The touch
strength.
will come with it.
He has to learn. Yeah, he has to learn to have a little touch.
San Francisco comes into Atlanta next Sunday at 3:00, and Daniel will be there. But we'll hit on that in the next show.
I bought 2 of his tickets too for $10.
$10.
I'm gonna be there too.
Should have jumped on.
Yep.
Moving on to
Granted, my
the
tickets are
last
running
or the
great
first
off.
game of the weekend, Baltimore-Denver. This game started out.
I called this.
What a game!
Didn't I say Baltimore was going to win?
You did. You were the only one in our group that called it.
Because
Yep.
I knew.
The game started at 13 degrees.
And it
And it
kept
was
going
And
down.
freezing.
the wind chill was -3 at the start of the game. If anybody saw in Sports Club, I put a picture up of a guy holding his Corona. I don't know why you were drinking Corona in -3 weather, but
It warms you up, dude.
yeah, I guess so. But he had a Corona, and the whole outside of the Corona was frozen. Like it just had a huge like frost thing all over. -3. Why are you at a game? Why are you at a game? -3 wind chill?
You're a fan, dude. That's Denver. They're used to that.
Yeah, that's
Everybody
true.
except for Peyton Manning, who's used to playing in a closed-in dome. Why do you go to a place where it gets cold when you can't play in the cold?
I kind of wondered the same thing halfway through the game. I was like, Peyton has really never done this.
Yes, he's not a cold. That's why he loses in New England.
And this is Peyton's 8th time where he's had a one and done in the playoffs.
He's a good coach. Hey, he got the Broncos as far as Tim Tebow did.
That's
Look at
right.
that.
That's
Good
right.
job, Peyton.
Peyton,
Good pickup.
Peyton Manning has more one and dones in the playoffs than any player in the history of the NFL.
This game was really, really close all the way through the game.
Double overtime.
Went into double overtime, and on a weird, and this is a controversial call that John Fox has come out, and so has John Elway.
I didn't understand that. I didn't
What?
understand
You
that at all.
take a knee
What?
with
Oh.
2 timeouts.
Peyton
timeouts.
Manning as your quarterback?
Exactly. 2 timeouts.
You need
Peyton
a field
Manning is your
goal?
quarterback. Why not?
And you know
Why
what?
not?
Matt Ryan would have nailed that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all would have got a field goal.
I
Y'all
just,
did.
I just don't understand John Fox's mindset
And
right
that's
there.
why he is not
not in the
really
playoffs anymore.
Well, not in that. He's not really a good coach.
Well, he got as far in the playoffs with
He has a
Peyton
Super
Manning
Bowl.
as he did with Tim Tebow.
Just saying.
Who did he got Super Bowl with?
Carolina.
They got the ring?
Didn't they get the ring that one year?
Carolina didn't win Super Bowl that year, did they?
I think so.
I didn't know I didn't know they went.
They went. I know for sure.
I think so.
I don't think they won,
They
though.
took Jake Delhomme to the. Anyway.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't touch on something a couple years ago. We'll talk about that later, right there. I'm not a couple weeks ago. The Pigskin Pick'ems. Chris Owens won it.
Congratulations, Chris.
We didn't bring it up, and I was just thinking about it. So I call you out. Good job.
Yeah, I think I went an entire week and a half of selecting my picks and
Good job for that first
said,
week and a half.
yeah.
That's enough.
AFC Championship is set, and they're the late game on Sunday. What, 6:30? Is that right? 6:37. 7 o'clock start time.
Falcons
Between
at 3 o'clock start
yeah,
time?
3 o'clock start time. It's
I think it's because
Patriots.
they're going against the Niners.
Patriots hosting the Baltimore Ravens. But that's it for the divisional recap. Catch us a little bit later
The conference.
for the AFC and NFC conference championships. For Bryce and Daniel, I'm Billy. See you guys later.